Good morning, dear students. Today we'll begin with your PUC second year syllabus, that is Unit A. That in that first chapter, typical configuration of computer system. Before moving to this, we'll just go some revised or little bit previous year introduction part of computer. That is, what is computer? Computer is an electronic device which takes some raw data as its input, processes on it, and gives a meaningful result or information which we will call as an output. So this we know that computer is an electronic device which takes some raw data as its input. That is, raw data in the sense the value before processing. The value before processing or the fact value we will call as an raw data. For example, 2 plus 2. So in this 2 plus 2, 2 and 2 both are the raw datas. These are called as these raw datas will be given as an input for the computer. Next, on this, according to the instruction, it will processes on it. In the example 2 plus 2, we are given plus is an instruction, that is addition we are given to the computer for performing. So according to that instruction, it will perform, that is it will perform the processing task and gives a meaningful result or information which we will call as an output. After 2 plus 2, after processing it, it will give the value as an 4. That is the meaningful result or information which we will call as an 4. Here, two plus 2 is equal to 4. So this 2 and this 2 is an raw data, plus is an processing or instruction which is given or which is processed on these two input, these two raw data. Now this whatever result or outcome has come, it is called as an information or which we will call as an output. Is it clear, students? Yes. Now it is we know that computer is an electronic machine that can store, recall and process data. We know that computer is an electronic machine which can store data, which can from which we can recall or we can retrieve the data, and this computer can process on data. Just we have seen that 2 plus 2. On this 2 plus 2, it has been processed. The addition has done on this 2 and 2. That is, if there is no processing, then there is no meaning for 2 and 2. That is, we cannot get this result as a 4. So we have to provide any action. We have to provide some action or set of instruction to be performed on these two raw data. If there is no plus symbol, then it will not provide you the result 4. That is 2 and 2. Is it clear? So set of instruction or any instruction whichever is user provided to the computer, it will act according to. If it could be minus, if it could be 2 minus 2, then its result will be 0. It will not give you 4. Its result is 0. That is 2 minus 2. Here as before example, 2 and 2 both are the raw data, but the instruction whatever we are given to the computer is subtraction, that is minus. So according to this instruction, it will act, that is 2 minus 2, and it will result you in the 0. The result or information which it will give, it is an 0. Is that clear? Yes. Now the computer acts according to the set of instructions which are given by the user or which are given to it. it acts according to the set of instructions. Just I told that here we are given the instruction of subtraction. In previous example we are given the example of addition, instruction as an addition. So if I given the plus symbol, then it will performs an addition and gives in a result 4. And I have given the instruction of subtraction, that is processing is done according to this instruction, that is subtraction. So it will subtract 2 from 2 and it will gives a result as an 0. Is that clear, students? Yes. Now the terms related to the computer system. We know that the terms related to the computer system are hardware, software, data and users. What is hardware? The hardware is a physical component of a computer which are touchable and sensible. The hardware part of a computer are the physical component of a computer which are touchable and sensible, as well as we can see those parts of the computer are called as an hardware devices of or hardware part of the computer. For example, keyboard, mouse, monitor, RAM, all these are the hardware part of the computer. Next, software. What is software? What do you mean by software? Software is nothing but it is a collection of programs. Then what is program? Programs are set of instructions according to which the computer acts. That is, software is nothing but it is a collection of programs, and in generally programs are nothing but a set of instructions. So group of instructions or set of instructions can also be called as a software. According to the software according to the instruction, the computer acts. The software is not a touchable and sensible. That means how any hardware part of a computer can be seen or can be sensible or can be touchable. In the exactly opposite way, the software cannot be touched and sensible, or we cannot sense as a this software. It is something like, for example, whatever the brain is our hard part of the body, and whatever intelligence present in the brain, it can be called as a software. Am I clear? Yes. The software examples for software are operating system, C++, it's a programming language, system software, application softwares, this your Facebook, WhatsApp, all these are what? These are the softwares. Next, data. We know that what is data? Data is a raw value, or it is a basic fact that computer will process, or the data is any value or any fact on which the computer will process. It is called as an data. Now in previous example, 2 plus 2 is an data, but 4 is an processed data, that is information or result. Next, users. Users, who are the users? The users are the people who uses the computers are called as an users. Yes, we people are the using the computers, so we people are called as an users of the computer. Is that clear, students? Okay, we'll go through the next concept, that is block diagram of the basic diagram or block diagram of the computer. Now, this is in previous year in first PUC, you might have studied this block diagram of a computer. Just this is in first chapter, we will just have a review on the computer, that is basic or block diagram of a computer. Now, in this, yes, this is our collectively we will called as an CPU. This is collectively called as an CPU. This is IU, that is input unit. This is output unit. The red mark indicates the flow of the data and the green mark indicates green dotted lines indicates the flow of the control. Yes, you people are knowing this. There are in CPU there are again two parts. One is memory unit and another is CPU unit. In this memory unit again it has a two parts, primary memory and secondary memory. In CPU we have again two parts, one is control unit and another is ALU. Now the data will come from the input unit, it will enter into the CPU or this ALU. According to the instruction, the CPU or ALU performs the action and it will be sent to the primary memory. In this primary memory, the data will be stored temporarily. Then when this output unit receives a signal of displaying the content, then the data which is temporarily stored in the primary memory will be displayed on the output unit. The input unit sends a data. When control units gives a signal to input unit that you must be ready to accept the input value or inputted value, then the input unit will receive or will take the data from the user and it will be sent to the ALU. When this control unit sends a signal to the CPU or ALU, it must be ready for execution. After execution, whatever the information or processed data or result will come, that will be sent to the primary memory. Again this control unit sends a signal to the primary memory and now it must be get ready for storing the result of the processed data or the processed data into the primary memory for temporarily. When it will be stored, then the control unit sends a signal to the output unit to be ready for displaying the output onto the output unit, that is our monitor. Next, input unit is a device. What is input unit? Input unit is a device which is used to input the or enter the data. The most commonly used input devices are keyboard and mouse. Yes, keyboard. Through keyboard we will enter the data as in text as well as numbers as well as special characters we can enter. Through mouse we can enter the instruction like input, that is clicking, or for inputting command like or for executing command like options we will make use of the mouse. Yes. Next, output unit. Output unit is nothing but it is a device, a hardware device which is used to display the output. So output unit is an hardware device, hardware part of a computer which is used to display the result. The output unit is a device which used to display the output is called as an output unit. The most commonly used output device is an monitor. The monitor is an device which generates only soft copy output. The monitor is an output device which generates only soft copy output. So to get the hard copy output we can make use of the printer. So printer is a output device which will generate the hard copy output. Now, is it clear? Yes. After input and output unit, we will go to CPU. The overall memory collection of the memory unit and ALU and CU collectively we will call as a central processing unit. So why it has been called as a central processing unit? It has been called as an so because it is present in between the input unit and output unit. That is, this input unit sends the data or inputs data and the output unit displays the data. So in between these two, centrally or in between these or in center of these two, whatever processing takes place, takes place in the ALU or in CPU. That's why in between our raw data and in our processed data, that is in our output, in between input and output, whatever is present, it is central processing. So it has been called as a central processing unit. Next, this central processing unit, as I have told, it has two parts. One is memory and another is ALU. This ALU, or collectively we can call it as an CPU, which CPU contains ALU and CU. So CU is nothing but it is an, now we will clearly see here, CPU. CPU has main two parts, memory unit and CPU. The memory unit again divided into two parts, primary memory and secondary memory. Now CPU has been again divided into two parts, CU and ALU. CU in the sense control unit and ALU means arithmetic and logic unit. In this CU, control unit controls, it has a control over all the hardware devices of a computer. How our brain controls the overall body parts of our body parts, in the same way the control unit controls the all the hardware devices of a computer. For example, we cannot raise our hand and slap anybody unless and until we get a signal from our brain to slap anybody, isn't it? We cannot make any action or we cannot raise our hand for any purpose without getting a signal from our brain, isn't it? We cannot make any action through our any hard part of the body or any our hand or any signals, or we cannot do any such things, or raising any hand or slapping anybody we cannot do unless and until our brain gives us a signal. In this sense, in the same way, the control unit has a control over all the hardware devices of a computer. Unless and until the control unit sends a signal to any hard part of the hardware device of the computer, the hardware part will not be get ready. So before processing or before doing any action, all the hardware devices get a signal from the control unit. Is that clear? Yes. Next, ALU. What is ALU? ALU stands for arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic and logical unit in the sense all the processing, all the calculation, arithmetic calculation as well as logical calculation, all will be done in this part of the computer, that is arithmetic and logic unit. In this any processing takes place, it is in the ALU only. Arithmetic and logical unit has an work of processing, that is arithmetic in the sense all the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, anything, it may be anything as an arithmetic. And logical in the sense any conditional, any processing or any conditional, everything will be, whatever processing we will give, whatever instructions or set of instructions we will provide, every processing task will be takes place in the ALU only. Is it clear? Next, in detail we will study what is ALU and how it will work, and what is CPU. Overall CU plus ALU, how it will work, we will study in the later chapters. Now, in primary memory, we are studied some part of the primary memory or related to primary memory and secondary memory or memory unit in the previous year. Just here some review of this. Primary memory and secondary memory, both are the memory units, parts of the memory unit. The primary memory, as we will know that it is an temporary memory. Yes, primary memory is also called as an temporary memory, or it is also called as an auxiliary memory. This primary memory again has two parts, RAM and ROM. Yes, RAM is random access memory and ROM is an read-only memory. We know that any calculation, after calculation, whatever data is stored, it is stored in the RAM only. The RAM decides the speed of the processing. If there is a the size of the RAM is more, the speed of the computer is more. Or we know that RAM, why it is so? Because this RAM is an random access memory which stores the data, processed data temporarily. If there is a more space, then we can store more data into that. If there is less space, so we have to spend our time to making an adjustment of the memory, so the processing becomes slow. That's why the more the RAM, more the speed of the computer or processor. Next, ROM is a read-only memory. Just I told that RAM is an random access memory, and in this RAM, in this area, the data is temporarily stored, which has to be calculated or which has been already calculated. So such programs or such data are stored in the RAM. Next, ROM. What is ROM? Read-only memory. Although ROM is called as a primary memory, but it is not an auxiliary memory. In this sense, the ROM is present in ROM is one of the part of the primary memory, but whatever content is stored in the ROM, it will not be erased or it will not be vanished if current goes off. But in the RAM, if whatever content or data is stored in RAM or random access memory, if current goes off, then whatever data present in the RAM will be erased or deleted. Is it clear? Yes. But in the ROM is a part of the primary memory, even though it will not, the content of that ROM will not be erased. Why? Because ROM is a read-only memory, and the content of the ROM or read-only memory will be decided by the manufacturers. What present in this ROM? This ROM contains the softwares which are related to the system, the softwares which are needed for execution of all these hardware devices. Such softwares are stored in the ROM. That is, softwares which are needed for the running of the computer smoothly, such softwares are present in the ROM. Then who will decide the which type of software should be present in the ROM? It is the manufacturer who is manufacturing these computers, the owner of the computer. In the sense, what? The manufacturer, owner in the sense, the manufacturer who has manufactured this computer, only he can decide the content of the ROM. Is that clear? So it is although it is a primary memory, but it is not a auxiliary. Auxiliary in the sense, if current goes off while executing any program or while running the program, even though the content of ROM will not be erased or will not be deleted. Is that clear? Yes. Then RAM is an only part of the primary memory which directly deals with the CPU, that is with the ALU. So whatever content will be, whatever program or whatever program or whatever data to be executed or which is to be executed, such programs will be brought into the RAM. After processing, whatever information will be or whatever information we will get or as an output, that will be again stored back in the RAM until and unless it will be displayed on the screen. Is it clear? When you will say save, when you will save your file, when you save your program, only at that time the content of the RAM will be saved in the secondary memory. Yes. Now we will move to the secondary memory. What is secondary memory? Secondary memory is also called as an permanent memory. It has been called so because once the content is stored in the secondary memory, that will be fixed or that will be permanent unless and until we will delete it. Unless and until we will delete it, the content of the secondary memory will not be erased or deleted. Whatever file we will store in the secondary memory by giving the name of the file and then the extension, at that time the content will be stored or the file will be stored in the secondary memory as an permanent unless and until we will delete it. Is it clear? Yes. The secondary memory is also called as an hard disk. There are many in computer. It has been called as an hard disk. There are many secondary memories are present, such as CD, pen drive, and so on. The earlier those it was an floppy, CD. Nowadays it is an pen drive is an most popular secondary memory we can say, which can be movable, that is which can be carried out from one place to another place. Now hard disk is an main concept or main part of the secondary memory in which our data is or our file is stored permanently. Is it clear, students? Yes. Now, any doubts up to this? If you are having any doubts regarding the block diagram of a computer as well as introductory part of the first chapter, you can message me. We will discuss the concept which has not understood or which has not cleared in our Google Meet. Thank you, dear students. Thank you.